Hello friends, how are you doing? And I hope you really are all having a great and fun time and everything is going smooth and awesome. We are doing the chapter Plant Growth and Development, the CBSE questions on this chapter, right? So we will start with the first question: how does growth occur in plants? All these are one markers and will help you, we have to be very short and precise for this, right? So how does growth occur in the plants? Growth occurs in plants by cell division and cell elongation. Okay? The growth occurs in plants by cell division and cell elongation, and this is how the growth occur in plants. We move on to the next question: where are the cytokinins produced? Right, absolutely. The cytokinins are produced in the fruits and the seeds, right. So the cytokinins are produced in the fruits and the seeds, and this is where the cytokinins are produced, right. We now move on to the next question. What is vernalization? The induction of chilling treatment to induce flowering is called as vernalization. Okay? The induction of chilling treatment to bring about flowering is called as vernalization. Okay? The induction of chilling treatment to bring about flowering is called as vernalization, right. We move on to the next question: what is differentiation? What is differentiation? See, whenever there is a meristematic cell, right, whenever there is a meristematic cell, what happens? This meristematic cell will undergo division, undergoes differentiation, okay, to perform a specific function, right. So the meristematic cell undergoes differentiation to perform a specific function, and what we see here, that the differentiation is the specialization, okay, the differentiation is the specialization of cells to perform a particular specific function, to perform a particular specific function, okay. So, differentiation is a specialization of cells to perform a particular specific function, and this is what we mean by differentiation. We move on to the next question, what are phytohormones? What are phytohormones? Phytohormones, okay, are natural plant substances, are natural plant growth substances, okay. So, phytohormones are natural plant growth substances that are released, okay, that are released or secreted by the plant or secreted by the plant. So, phytohormones are natural plant growth substances that are released or secreted by the plant, and hence they control the growth, and different functions of the plant, and hence they control the growth and different functions of the plant. Thus these are important, right? Thus these are important growth regulators, and modulators okay. Thus these are important growth regulators and modulators, and these are what are the phytohormones, right. Moving on to the next question, define the apical dominance, right. Define the apical dominance. Okay. Seems to have got so apical dominance is being exhibited, okay, is being exhibited right. Apical dominance is being exhibited by the apical or terminal buds. Apical dominance is being exhibited by the apical or the terminal buds, where they will control the growth, or you can say suppress the growth of the, or suppress the growth, or suppress the growth of the lateral buds, of the lateral buds, right, or suppress the growth of the lateral buds. And the apical dominance is shown by Auxin. Apical dominance is shown by Auxin. Okay, this is the phytohormone which is showing the apical dominance, right. We now move on to the next question. What is the sigmoid growth curve, right? What is the sigmoid growth curve? The rate of growth exhibited, which is actually growth versus time, growth versus time, okay. When plotted on a graph, when plotted on a graph, okay, when plotted on a graph is called, okay, takes an S-shaped, takes an S-shaped and is called as sigmoid growth curve, okay, and is called as sigmoid growth curve, okay. This is called as the sigmoid growth curve. So if say this is right somewhat like this, this is the lag phase, which where the growth rate is increasing very gradually, and here the growth rate is increasing very very fast, the log phase or the exponential phase, and this is a phase where it becomes stationary. The growth is not that much in this particular phase, and this is the sigmoid growth curve. We move on to the next question. What mention any three functions of Auxin? Okay, mention any three functions of Auxin. Functions of auxins. The first function of auxin is that it promotes cell division. Okay, it promotes cell division. Responsible, auxin is responsible, right? It is responsible, right, for cell elongation, for cell elongation, right. It promotes cell division, it is responsible for cell elongation, right. It induces apical dominance, it induces apical dominance, and also we will see that it is responsible, right, it is responsible for root initiation, it is responsible for root initiation. Okay, it is responsible for the root initiation. Right. We move on to the next session, the next question, that is, what is photoperiodism? How do you categorize angiosperms on the basis of the flowering response? Okay, photoperiodism. Now, photoperiodism can be said, it's a very important characteristic of angiosperm of the flowering plants. It is the amount of daylight. This is the amount of daylight. Okay, this is the amount of daylight required by the plants. This is the amount of daylight required by the plants for flowering. Okay. So, this is the amount of daylight required by the plants for flowering, and in this there are three categories of plants. And what are these three categories? Number one is the long day plants. The long day plants will require a longer daylight, much more extended daylight for flowering. These will require longer daylight for flowering. Okay, these will require longer daylight for flowering. Short day plants require shorter daylight for flowering. These will require shorter daylight for flowering. Shorter daylight for flowering. And day neutral plants, here it does not depend on the daylight, amount of light for flowering. This does not depend on daylight for flowering, on daylight for flowering. So, this does not depend on the daylight for flowering, and this is what is photoperiodism. We move on to the next question, that is the last one. Name the gaseous plant hormone and mention its 3 different kinds of action on the plants. Right. Okay. So, the gaseous plant hormone is ethylene, right. The gaseous plant hormone is ethylene, and its action on plants, right, its action on plants, number 1, causes fruit maturation and ripening. Okay, it causes the fruit maturation and ripening, right. The second one, it is responsible for the formation of abscission zone in leaves. It is responsible, right, it is responsible for the formation of abscission zone, it is responsible for the formation of abscission zone in leaves. And thirdly, what we see, we will see that this plant hormone ethylene, this will cause more number of female flowers. Okay, this will cause the more number of the female flowers, and hence basically ethylene is very, very important for the fruit maturation and ripening, where it plays a very major role. So, friends, with this we have come to the end of this question discussion of this chapter. Get back to this and revise, and the time we meet again, a very goodbye from this side. Thank you.